Where the fuck did that thing go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where'd you come from, Canacho? Alright, evidently my monitor disappeared. Where are you? I want to watch the temperatures. Oh, there it is. Alright. Now I can monitor my temperatures. What's up, Martin? Scott, how you doing? Let's see. Alright, so anyway, sorry. I was looking over the I'm running a hardware monitor to see what kind of temperatures I'm getting on the back end of this computer since it's been running warm lately. The fan never really ramps up, but the temperature gets up there. It's still running in 70 degrees Celsius. Up. Question up. Larry, down. I'm supposed to be out there. Micah's out there right now working, and I'm gonna head out there here in a little bit. CPU's running at 74 degrees Celsius and my GPU's running at 54 degrees Celsius. Huh. Why is the CPU maxed out but GPU's not? This is supposed to be rendering with the GPU. Why you no work properly? Hardware, NVENC, yes. Yes, that's correct. Encoder. Let's do... Hopefully this doesn't fuck the stream. If it does, I'll be right back. I'm gonna change it and see if it'll... Higher equal less CPU. Let's do high performance and apply. Please don't crash. Did it crash? I don't know. CPU still almost 100% usage or load, and GPU is not. Fuck it, I'll mess with it later. Might be why it's getting so fucking hot. It's still running off the CPU even though it's not supposed to be. Anyway, 6S was brought yesterday to the flea market. It won't turn on, doesn't charge, doesn't do anything. Guy said they just charged it and then woke up the next morning, it was dead and will not turn on. So we're gonna open it up and see. Now it's bitching about the output level not being high enough. Well, 3000 it is then. I don't think any of those actually apply on the fly, evidently. Because I can adjust it and it doesn't do anything. Alright, so I started off by doing some diagnostics on this. First I wanted to see if the phone would boot up. If I plug in my DC power supply, it does turn on. It works perfectly fine. So I thought maybe battery. So I changed the battery out, and with a charged battery it turns on, but it still won't charge. So we have an issue either with the charging ports or something to do on the board. So I tried a different charging port in it, and when you plug it in without a battery, you should get at least some amp draw where the phone is looking for the battery to be present to boot. It'll pull amperage of like 0.07 to 0.12 amps, 70 milliamps to 120 milliamps. It's doing nothing, so even with a different charging port it does nothing. So I assume that we're probably dealing with a TriStar issue, because when you plug it into the computer it also doesn't recognize it on the computer. So we're not getting any USB communication. Most likely they're using some cheap chargers, and that's what's caused the situation that we have now. Whenever I give this back to them, I'm going to promote they buy a MFI certified cable, which I fortunately sell, lucky for me. How convenient. So I'm going to go ahead and take this phone apart. And then, I don't have any of my tweezers here, they're all at the flea market. I'll have to grab some from Micah's desk back there. Might be a shit show. I don't know what the quality of tweezers Micah keeps on his desk. They may all have broken tips. Oh no, your iPhone 6s is less waterproof now. Not that. So go ahead and pull the board on it here. How's everybody doing on Sunday today? Nah, 7 doing okay. I wish the 6 and the 6 Plus were designed the same. The 6 Plus is so much easier to get out. There's like half the fucking screws on it you have to take out to get the board out. I don't know why they insist on not making them the same and forcing the 6 to have a little break-off board that is attached to it for the Wi-Fi instead of just having a separate module like the 6 Plus has, which is so much easier. Less time consuming. Less screws you have to deal with. But I guess Apple didn't design this phone for me to fix it, so. Yep, there are a shit ton of shitty cables out there. I only buy MFI certified stuff. I don't buy like I used to buy like the wannabe Apple branded ones, which are usually fakes anyway, so I stopped buying those when I found out that most of them were fake, and I started cutting them open and finding out they were. Then we switched over to, we actually use 2 different companies. There's a company on eBay called Say Wow, which is kind of a shitty generic name, but whatever. They sell MFI certified cables. I've cut them open. They are actual certified cables, and they're as cheap as like $2 and something a piece. Oh, look at there, it got some water damage. I asked him if there had been liquid in this, and he said no. But that sure as fuck looks like something that wouldn't normally be in there. Let me grab some tweezers real quick. So Micah's tweezers all look like a butchery happened. Most of them are uneven, as you can see, and highly bent. Hopefully I can pull a TriStar with these. But looks like we've got some build up here. Looks like this filter's gotten a little darkened at some point from liquid. Surprisingly though, there's nothing here, but I noticed over here when I was pulling it out the other day, there's like a residue on the board right here. It feels I mean, it's kind of like you can see it's built up on the end of the tweezers there. So that would explain some of this. Yeah, there's some discoloration here on these components. There's some on this capacitor, I believe this is. Build up on it. Evidently it's not something that's too corrosive since it still works. Yeah, the filters are good. Evidently the edge of that cable was ground. I was touching, I was like, why is this capacitor beeping? These two filters are okay. This cap's okay. I know it works, so I don't think there would be any shorts there, but just checking around. See what we have. Alright, so let's eject our sim, disconnect our antennas, and get this board out. And then hopefully I can manage to pull TriStar with these janky ass tweezers. There you'll see me epically fail and wreck everything around it. Come out of your bracket. Thank you. Alright, so this board should come out now. Oh, forgot one screw. We're missing one. Alright, so board's out. Just check the back side of it, just make sure it looks okay. Got some solder balls right there. That's interesting. There's a couple of them. There's one there. There's one there. There's about 4 solder balls just stuck to that. Look around here. Looks okay. I don't see any like water spotting or anything on the back of this. Let's see if we can get this cover off. I really don't want to open another thing of my tweezers. But I am kind of worried that I'm going to mess up with these. My tweezers are at the flea market with Micah. I usually take my tools up there. I don't see any water damage here, so. There's some up at the top, but nothing down here. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to get my tweezers. I don't think I can sneak these in there to get that out. So let me go grab a new pair. I'm gonna keep the box so I can put these back up when I'm done with them. Alright, so good tweezers. Yay, nice and thin. Let's see. Alright, so it's oriented that way. Debating on if I want to try to cut this. I don't have my cutters either, so I'm not gonna cut it. I'm gonna try to sneak it out from under there. which should be doable. Turn the hot air on here. Let that warm up. Somebody did re-hot it. That's truth. True. Let's see, where are my CPU temps at? Really fucking high. Sweet. What's up, Amy? Cut what? Cut the shield? I don't... Well, does Mike have his set of cutters? If he does, I'll use his. I bought us 2 identical sets, so... Cutters, where are you? Do with the cutters, Micah. Where the fuck are the cutters? I have no idea what he's doing. Not on his desk anywhere. I have no clue what he's doing. I don't see him anywhere. Not on his desk or anything. Oh, where they merge? Unfortunately, Larry, I don't know what Mike has done with his side cutters and I can't find them. So I'm just gonna have to sneak this shit out. It's doable. I've done it before. Let's see here. See what angle is going to be best. I'm going to have to come with my tweezers like this. There we go. It wasn't bad. We got it out of there. I don't think anybody's moved. Nah, they're all in place. Even a little tiny resistor down in there is in place. I think we nudged our cap just a little bit, but that's alright. Alright. Fired his tech. I mean, I just don't, like, if somebody's gonna steal from you like that and be petty about some little shit like that, imagine what they would do, like, if times got tough. Like, they'd really fuck you over, so. I wouldn't trust anybody at that point. Like, not trust anybody, just I wouldn't trust someone to work for me that's like that. And people were like, well, don't fire him, he'll become competition. Well, I mean, fuck, people do that anyway. I might have to bend that up just to get under it. Let me use the shitty tweezers just to bend this up a little bit. There we go. Alright, get those pads under there cleaned. Let's go over here, make sure that these are extra cleaned. I couldn't imagine having somebody work for me that I knew had lied to me. And they knowingly lied to me. Like, intentionally. Like, he asked him what was going on, and the guy said, oh, I'm only charging the cost of what the third-party guy is charging us. And then come to find out he's actually charging double and pocketing the money. Like, I would think if he's paying as much as he is, I don't know what their standard of living is there, so it may be that $16 an hour is nothing, but I would think if you're making $16 an hour and you were lead tech at a place, that you would be kind of, I don't know, grateful, I guess. Maybe we don't know the whole situation. Maybe he was getting fucked over and was pissed off about it, so he said, fuck it. But I don't know. We don't know all the backstory to it, so there could be something we don't even know about it. But if it is as clear and cut and dry as he's explained it to be, that would be my gut feeling. I feel like once somebody lies to you about something, that there's a chance that they're going to lie to you about other things. Get off of there, little piece of shit. So, and that's any business. Like, it's not just this business. I mean, every business has people like that. Like, I've known people that hired accountants or whatever to work for their companies, and then those same people have embezzled money out of their company. Like, people get greedy and don't appreciate what they have, so they'll take from you. Alright, so let's see if we can refill this without completely blowing it off into space. Well, not space, but over into the other components behind it. Of course, I just fuck it up. Sit down, please. Thank you. You're close enough. So we're going to look for this chip to move, and then once it moves, we're going to try to tap it without destroying everything around it. Okay, it should be close. There it goes. Oh. Okay. I hit that resistor, but luckily I knocked it back onto its pad. But chip should be level. Let's check it. Oh yeah, looks good. I don't know how well you all can see that, but you can see it. So, you can see the balls there. Chip sitting level on the board. For the most part, I guess. I may try refilling that one more time. I don't know if that back corner is flat. It might be. I don't know. Sometimes these boards give you like an optical illusion, like you're not sure, but I'm gonna refill it just to make sure. I want to be extra sure that it's down in there. I'm fairly confident that that is soldered down. I nudged it 2 different directions and it didn't seem to veer anywhere off course. Okay, well, if you've known the guy for a while, then I would take that. I would weigh that opinion more. Alright, so bent my shield back down. Let's pop it in the housing now and see if it talks to the USB and see if we get any activity. Ah, it's hot. It's hot right here, evidently. Putting hot air on this board evidently makes it hot. Alright, let's try this again without burning myself. Lost 300,000 to my controller. What do you mean your controller? Like your Nintendo controller? Okay, so I'm not going to plug in the battery. I just want to see if we get activity now. Hey, we do. Sweet. Alright, so I'm going to put this up on screen so you all can see what this is doing. Gotta find, there it is. The CPU is gonna be hating me here in a second. It's like, fuck you. I'm gonna do a test off stream after I leave this stream and see. Yeah, it's really hating life right now. The CPU is. It's doing the rendering evidently and everything else. I'm gonna close this program out because it's causing the CPU to cycle so much. Okay, so let's go ahead and connect to our power supply. Okay, let's see. Oh, that didn't work. There we go. Now we're connected, so we're going to set this to 2 amps. Mine has a little voltage draw that drops across the lead, so I set it to 5.2 volts. Click OK. Now we'll turn it on. Now if you watch the amp draw there at the bottom, see how it's at 0.48 on my battery lead tester here. It's at 0. So my amp meter shows 0 amp draw. The LED on it pulls that 46 milliamps. So that's why you're getting a 0.04 reading, because the LED on this battery meter pulls some amperage. So if I plug this in, you'll watch it. The amperage will start to spike up a little more. See how it's going up? Now it'll drop back down here in a second. And it'll keep fluctuating back and forth. It'll go from couple hundred milliamps back down to close to where we started, and then back up to a couple hundred. So that means that the TriStar is now talking USB. Beforehand, it wouldn't do this. It would just stay at a constant whatever draw that is, 0.04 amp draw from the LED on the display. So now let's plug in our screen and see if we get a battery icon, which I suspect we will. This battery may be completely dead, which is fine. I don't know how dead it is. I'll have to check it. I think it should recover. They usually do, unless they just really drained. Alright, so let's plug in our battery. You got a 0.04 amp draw on DC power supply, but you have a voltage drop on VCC main to 0.02. Larry, is that before or after you press the home button? Okay, so now we're going to hook up our phone with our DC power supply present, and this should jump up to charge the battery. Alright, so it's pulling a weird amperage. I'm not confident in that. We might have some secondary problems, but nope, there it goes. Now it's pulling the full amp. So the battery was pretty dead. Now, if you look on the screen, we have a charging logo. Yay! So I'll show it over here too so you can see it. Sometimes it's hard to see on that other camera. So, charging logo. That's like fan spin for us, I guess. So we're going to let that charge and see if it'll boot up. And then we'll talk to Larry here and see. Voltage drop 0.02 volts on VCC main. It's before pressing home does nothing. What do you mean pressing home? I mean power button. What happens when you press power button? It seems like it'd be almost impossible to have a 0.02 volt drop on VCC main and have no amp draw. Is that plugging directly into the battery leads, Larry? Or is that plugging into the bottom? Into the port? Okay. The only way that I know of that can... I mean, Larry, I would suspect that somehow Tigris is damaged, because Tigris controls the battery gate, and the battery gate, usually when you plug in power, the battery gate opens because Tigris sees the power coming in from the battery and will automatically open that gate up so that the phone can function. So I would start with Tigris if you're not getting any type of amp draw across when the battery's plugged in, because you should immediately have one. Also, I'm trying to think. So Tigris first, battery gate second. You need to solve your VCC main short, obviously. What I would do is pull the battery gate. Actually, if you want to find the short, pull the battery gate, bridge the battery VCC line to the VCC main line with a piece of solder or wire. Inject your voltage, find where your short is, then replace Tigris and the battery gate, and you should be good to go. Unless you've got some crazy ass thing that I've never seen before. So the phone's still drawing an amp, still charging. This is off a DC power supply, so it's not going to pull any more than what it is. Take it handy. I don't know what that means. Oh, I don't want to sneeze. Oh, let's see. Head down. What do you think, Larry? Do you think that logic sounds good? Beep boop, beep boop boop beep. Stimutax. Can feel every firing of my cerebral cortex. We need Apple logo. We need Apple logo. We need Apple logo. Tell them, everybody. We need Apple logo. Bet you they sat on that phone and broke stuff. Amy, are you saying that people sit on their phones? That's a lie. No one sits on their phone. It's always an unexpected break for no apparent reason. I guess I can put my tweezers back up. I love these tweezers. They were talking about tweezers on Justice stream the other night. And I have to say, like, these are cheap and they usually last a while, so. I've really been happy with Vetus's super fine tweezers. Non-magnetic. They have really good curved tweezers also. So I've used their ST10s, ST12s. These are ST16s, I think. Let me see here. Yes, ST16s. I've used the 10s, 12s, the 15 curved ones, and the 16s, and I have been pleasantly happy with them. Fucked up. 0.04 amp draw on amp draw with the gate off. Well, bridge the gate. You said you have a 0.02 voltage drop to ground on BCC main, right? If that's true, that's dead short. So if you bridge the VCC main to the BAT VCC line, wherever that short is should show up. Unless you're metering VCC with the battery plugged in, then it'll read low. Because it has a direct path to ground because the circuit's completed. It has a path to ground through the battery. Come on, phone, turn on. Still charging. Yeah. I hope to God that most of the water damaged phones I see are not from sweat. So I'm looking at under the microscope at my tweezer box. Fine tip. Super fine straight tip. The ST14s are okay, but the only problem is that tip isn't as fine as they say it is. Vetus. Selected professional tools. Look at that little resistor. They know what they're doing. Material: super hard, anti-magnetic, anti-acid steel. Stainless steel tweezers designed to meet the requirements of the electronics and precision engineering industries. The peak is hard and sharp. That's true. It is very sharp. I've stabbed myself in the leg many times. It's not fun. I forget, is this metal or plastic? I think it might actually be metal. Maybe not. I don't know. Their packaging comes with a Vetus like little emblem on it. It's kind of cool. It's plastic, I think. Yeah, it is. But this comes on it. Yeah, it's plastic. It's pretty cool though. You can tell companies that actually give a shit about their products, like they'll put work into them. I don't know, is it plastic? No, actually it might be metal. That'd be kind of cool if it is. What if it's gold? What if this whole time these $7 tweezers were giving me like $1,000 in gold? Let's see. How does it scratch? That's the true test. Yeah, it's fucking brass. I didn't even realize that. I thought that was plastic. Yeah, that's fucking brass. That's pretty cool. Just waiting to hear back from Larry. Come on, Larry. Can Larry figure out what his issue is by the time this phone charges and boots? That's the question. Lewis was looking at a multimeter that has USB input, and I was thinking about it too, because the amp meter is nice to show, but I'd really like to show what I'm metering also. I do like my Fluke though. Yeah, Larry, that if you got a 0.02 voltage drop on VCC main, it's gotta be dead short. And bridging the battery gate to, or bridging bat VCC to VCC main and then injecting power through the battery connector should automatically max out your amp draw. And something's gonna get hot. Dipping in a boo. After this, voltage draw on VCC main 0.04. That's not possible. 0.04 amp draw on a dead short like that isn't possible. Amy, if it was short, if the reading he's getting is correct and it's actually short, something's getting hot. Okay, so our phone's finally turning on. We have Apple logo. In pineapple, Apple pen. Let's see if this thing boots. Looks like you're gonna lose, Larry. My phone's booting before you get your problem solved. Come on, phone. Boot up for me. Should be almost ready to boot now. Right about now. Turn on, bitch. There it is. It vibrated. And there we go. We're at the password screen. And let's see, do we have a charging logo? Yes, we do. Woohoo. We're at 4%. My phone's ringing. Hold on. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. No, I was able to push it back in. Yeah, but I haven't done any cleanup on it. I'm going to head out there here shortly and do that. It'll probably be about an hour or so. Okay, just swing by the house around 5 or something. Okay. See ya. Alex Canty has posted something for sale. What are you selling, Alex? Apple iPad Air 2. I got a couple 7 pluses and 6S plus and other shit I need to. 50 ohms between VCC main and ground. Ugh, 50 ohms is kind of close to the point where it's not going to be dead short and it won't fucking pull power. Larry, if there is a 6, is there any liquid damage? If not, pull the 2 caps next to the backlight driver and see if it's one of those. That's usually the 2 that fail all the time. How much do those cost? Let's look those up. Ideal Tech. $15, $20, $21, $17. These look almost like the Vetus brands. Very fine curved tweezers. Okay, those are about the same price, maybe a little more expensive. Let's see, Bernstein. Bernstein non-conductive ESD safe tweezers, $7. That's a little better. $27, $19. Okay, so about the same price ranges. And then and Lindstrom. Okay, so they sell, those are Swiss made. They make a lot of electronic tools, evidently, because they sell a lot of cutters. We need tweezers. Okay, so they're a little more expensive, about $30. So let's see how much the Vetus are. ST16s. So the ST16s that I used, you can buy on eBay for $5. Oh, they're separate? Okay. Well, the ST16's $5 on eBay. You can buy them as high as $10, but so that's really why I use them. They're really cheap, and honestly, they last a long time as long as you're not abusive to them. They have fairly strong tips. Let's look up the individual companies and see what their prices are. Tweezers. Okay, so the tweezers run, let's see, individuals, fine tip, ultra fine, $22.87 a piece. $10 for some, those aren't fine though. Ultra fine, $20. Fine tip, very fine, $25. So let's look up Lindstrom. Lindstrom's run, let's see, where are the fines? Component handling tweezers, $17. I mean, like, again, I'm saying, I'd like to try some of these. I may just order one of each and see if any of them are different strength, but these Vetus tweezers, like, they're cheap and they're really fucking hard. It says they're Switzerland standard. I don't know if that means anything coming out of China, but I don't know, where is Vetus? Maybe Vetus isn't China. I would think it is, though. Let's see what else they sell. I think they used to make, like, tweezers for, like, cosmetic people, but Vetus tweezers. They have a website. Where are you from? Electro Optics Inc. is doing business in the United States. Okay, cool. I don't care. Oh no. Damn, they make tweezers for fucking wafer handling? Let's see what these look like. Well, that's cool. Yeah, they make like chip handling tweezers for picking up BGA chipsets. synthetic fiber. What is this? Oh, that's cool. They make tweezers out of like woven fiber, carbon fiber. ESD anti-magnetic. I had some of these, but they weren't as fine. The Vetus electrostatic discharge ones. They're okay. They just don't have the finest tip, I don't think. They have the same models. I wonder if they're exactly the same though. This doesn't even say what size it is. On their website though, $9 for tweezers. For the ESD ones. Oh shit, they make a series that is replaceable tips. None of them are fine though. We have ST series. These ST, yeah. Yeah, on their website, if you buy 10 or more, you can get them for $7. Oh, let's see. I might try Vetus. I'm not trying those. They're a good brand. I like them. Why not give Josh your case order, bum? Because I haven't made it yet, douche. I was gonna make it last night and the computer was dead and I was like, fuck it, I'm not getting up to get the charger. Now I'm gonna fill it out here shortly, actually. When I go to the flea market, I'm gonna do it while I'm sitting there. Because it's fucking boring as shit out there anyway. Alright, so this is charged up to 10% now. Which, if you can see it, I'm gonna do it on this camera. You can't fucking see on the other one. 10%, woohoo! So it's definitely charging now. We've solved our issue. I'm gonna power it down, put it back together, and then I'm gonna go to the flea market. Overdick, I wish I could just talk to him on the phone and be like, here's what I want. Because I want pretty much every fucking style of case in the designer or whatever the style case is. I pretty much want every one of those for every iPhone series. At least 2 of them each. I was hoping there was more color selection for like the rugged series, but it's kind of limited. So I'll just have to order multiples. Can I call and talk to somebody today? Or do I have to email? I'm probably not working. It's Sunday, isn't it? So, who's working? Nobody. I really think, though, Michael, the website, I know you said people bitched about the formatting, but I think if you left it in 2 formats, one where you could just select like the style of case that you wanted and go down the list of every phone that is in that style, and then also do a side that's just individuals, it'd be a little more helpful. Get OtterBoxes, yeah. Unfortunately, OtterBoxes cost a fuck ton, and you have to fucking meet their requirements to sell them. And the only other way to buy them outside of that is to either buy refurbs or return items. And there's just not enough fucking money in them. I am what? Aaron said you are, and I don't know what that means. You are. You throw it in, you fucker. What are you doing? There you go. I'm working? Yeah. I guess so. I found a little trick. If you take, I wouldn't recommend this with cheaper quality tools, but if you take your penelope driver, which we have the Wera penelope drivers, you can see it's got a nice hardened tip on it, but we actually can push it down into the standoff screw and turn those in and out without having to actually do anything. And it doesn't really fuck up the threads, as you can see, so that's kind of convenient. I had one the other day. I tried to put the screw into the standoff. Tech 21, I like Tech 21's cases, like I think they're like Jelly series case, whatever the fuck they call it. They're really cool looking cases, but a lot of people don't buy them for some reason. At least not through us. They probably buy them from other people. Morning, Douglas. And no one else is working. Yeah. I work at weird times. I get one day off a week, and it's usually Sunday. Unless I'm on vacation. And then the time I have off, I work anyway. That's how you do it though, right, Oberdick? You gotta work. Put in them hours. Then you can retire. I wish I had discovered this calling earlier in life, and I'd be close to done already. Instead, I'll be working probably until I'm in my 40s. It's okay though. If I could retire in my 40s, I'd still be happy. I don't know if I ever retire though. I enjoy doing this, so like just working on electronics in general. So I don't know if I'd ever just completely quit. I'd probably slow down. These are the days of our lives. What's up, man? Hopefully I didn't blow a backlight filter. Wasn't paying attention. Usually I don't, by the way I pull these, so we'll see here in a second though. No big deal if I did, but always disconnect your battery, kids. I don't think I blew it though. No, didn't blow it. It's still working. So back before like everybody made a big deal about the filter blowing on the 6S series, I've always just been in the habit, like when I pull my covers, I've never really disconnected the batteries. I've never blown backlight fuses or anything, so I think it's just how people do it. I always make sure that when I lift my connectors, I lift from an end and I go parallel with the connector. So if the connector runs, like, so you can see it here. So if the connector, say this is my connector and I want to disconnect it, so the cable runs up like this direction. Since my cable plugs in this way, I want to lift it in this direction. I see a lot of people that try to lift the cables up this way, and the thing you've got to keep in mind there, let me see if I can draw this so it's easier to understand. And a lot of people don't really think about this until you draw it out and talk about it. So the way the connector works is you've got a groove. So say this is your FPC. So your FPC has a groove in it, and that connector is made to fit down in that groove. So the problem is when you rotate the connector out this direction instead of across its length, you're going to bind these pins on one side. And when you bind those on the iPad minis especially, you rip pins out. And you can also create shorts, because when this peels up, the pins are kind of getting pulled and stretched, and you're running your tweezers along this edge where the pins are, and you run more of a chance of shorting that out. When you pull lengthwise, the pins are going to roll up in a natural movement, and it prevents you from lifting pins, and I've never had a short ever while doing that. I've literally never blown a backlight on anything other than maybe early on when I first started doing this, before I started realizing that you need to peel them longwise, not across the side. I blew a backlight filter on an iPad mini when I first started doing these, but ever since I've switched over to where I peel from the side up, I've not blown one. Retired 3 times. Yeah. I think it's, I don't know, it's hard to per se retire without having anything to do. I think over time that even if you retired and you just like fucking vacationed all the time, you'd kind of get bored of it after a while. Unless you're just doing like crazy ass shit all the time. I don't know. Like, I worked from home for a long time, and people were like, man, that must be awesome. You get to work from home. You don't have to go anywhere. And you can just relax and do work, and then just sit on your couch or whatever you want to do. And like, I did that for a while, and it got boring. Like, I got tired of being at my house. Like, I wanted to get out of my house. Like, I don't know. I just didn't like being at home all the time. Excuses? No. Truth. Not an excuse. I was not very fucking knowledgeable back then. It shows you how far I've come. Like, literally, I blew a backlight on an iPad mini. This was back when the Mini 1 first came out. So how fucking long ago is that? Like 4 or 5 years ago? And I blew a backlight on it, and I didn't know how to fix it. And that shows you how far I've come. Like, I'm sure it was just the filter blew. But to me, I had no clue. And I sent it off to a company that charged me $60 to replace, what I'm sure was just the filter. And I got it back, and I was like relieved. I thought that like I had completely fucked it. But now, looking back on it, it's just easy shit. Working from home is okay if everyone leaves you alone. Yeah, that was the problem too. Like, working from home, there was no boundary that people could set. Like, they viewed my home as, I mean, it was my business, but they viewed it as a 24-hour business because I was there. And that got old real quick. I got tired of working from home because people would show up at fucking 8 o'clock in the afternoon and ask me to fix something, and I'd be like, okay. I mean, at the time I needed money, so I wasn't like turning it down, but you think you'd do a phone order, Michael? That'd be fine. I mean, it makes it easier. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the voltage monitoring thing here. So it'll stop eating up CPU usage. Well, so phone is on. It's charged up to 9%. I'm gonna call this customer and tell them the good news, and that they don't have to pay $125 or whatever it was on their deductible. They can save a little money and keep their phone, and they don't have to back anything up or do anything like that. So I think I'm going to call it at that. Margins suck. Overhead suck. Overhead does suck. That's true. So, but anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. And Michael, I will be in contact with you shortly. If he can't do a phone call, that's fine. I'll jump on the website at the flea market and write everything down that I want and then send it to him. I'll ask you some questions on the labeling and stuff. But I think that's it. I mean, that's successful repair. iPhone 6 now boots, now has power. TriStar, most likely they're using a bad cable, so I'm also going to convince them to get a better cable. Also, I don't have any type of sponsorship or anything with them, but I've been really impressed with RAV Power products. They're made in the U.S. Well, they're designed in the U.S. They're made in China, but it's a U.S.-based company. They make really good products. They have MFI certified cables that run right around $3-4 a piece. You can find some a little cheaper, but they're really well made. That's all I use here. They're serial numbered. See here on the camera if it'll focus. Let's see if it'll focus in. Come on, focus. Focus, bitch. I have to get really close to you. Will you focus on that? There we go. So RAV Power. All their products are serial numbered. They offer lifetime warranties on stuff if you sign up and register your products. They offer standard like 12-month warranty on their products. Their cables are tested for like 40,000 bends before failure rates occur. Their MFI, I've cut these open. They have the certified chips in them. Their bricks are really good. We've got 30-watt dual port bricks that have Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0 compatibility and Smart Sense stuff, so that they work with the iPad or the iPads and the iPhone 7s to do quick charging. They've got Qualcomm Quick Charge like in-car chargers that are cheap. Like, you're talking good margins too. Like a 30-watt dual port brick with quick charge, it's $10, and you can sell them for like $20. Their in-car chargers are like $12 for the fast charge ones, and then the generic one, well, not generic, the 2.4 amp dual port car charger is excuse me, is I think they're like $7 or something like that. And they just have really good products. I've been pleasantly surprised with them. I bought them just to see how good they were, and I use them every day and not had a single issue out of their cables. And I twist mine up every day. Like, they get twisted into a little ball every day when I get done with them. So they've been really good. And they make 6-foot and 10-foot cables, and the difference is between the cheap ass ones. When you go to a 6-foot cable, this cable diameter and the wire diameter inside of it is almost double. So you're carrying a lot more current, so you don't have bullshit 10-foot cable with this size wire that's only able to carry like 300 milliamps or something like that. So their cables are rated to carry 2 amps across the full length, and they're just really good products. I've been really happy with them. So if you want to give those a shot, you can. Like I said, I don't have any type of affiliation with them. I just really like their products. So, but anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off here. Appreciate y'all for watching, well, guys and gals, and check back probably tomorrow. I've got to finish up this box of other boards tomorrow, and I think that's about it. Michael Oberdick, can we have that long awkward silence where I just stare in your eyes? Anyway, thanks for watching. Where do you buy RAV, on their site or Amazon? Amazon. Amazon has good prices on them, and they ship quickly. But anyway, I will talk to you all later. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.